Well, looks like one of those new Harley-Davidson Street 750s over there. I think I'm gonna go have to take a look at that in just a minute once I get the bike down in the garage. Yeah, so this is one of those new Harley-Davidson Street 750s, looks like. I wonder whose bike this is. Oh, wait. I guess this is my bike. Let's see. That's right, YouTube. That's right, YouTube. HowlOnWheels done got himself a new whip. Went out the other day to test ride one of these new Street 750s and decided about halfway through that I really liked the bike. So I decided to pull the trigger. As you can see from earlier, I've still got the CB500, although that is currently up on Craigslist. Great bike in case anyone knows anyone in the New York area who might be looking for a really well-running Honda CB. They can go ahead and drop me a line in the comments. But yeah, decided I wanted something a little more modern, decided to join the 21st century. And I figured as long as I was joining the 21st century, I might as well do it along with someone else who is. And Harley-Davidson came out with this this bike, which is definitely a modern motorcycle compared to the vast majority of everything else they've got. And I gotta say, I have been riding it so far for about 35 miles total, and so far it's been a real damn pleasure. Real happy with it. I actually picked it up yesterday, covered in dirt and shit already, because my parking garage wouldn't let me get in there until I talked to the manager about switching it out for the Honda. So this girl stayed outside last night, but a little bit of rain and pollen never hurt anybody, and I'm not the kind of guy who likes to keep a polished bike anyway. I've got more important and fun things to do than make sure my bike is immaculately clean, riding first and foremost among them. So I really do enjoy this bike. You know, I wasn't really sure about the cruiser sort of position. I'm so used to having the controls right sort of, you know, below my ass, like they are on the CB500. They've been that way, but this is a lot more like the CB350 I had in the showcase in my very first video, last ride of the CB350. It definitely had more forward controls than on the 500, and this is similar. It doesn't have forward controls like you'd find on other cruisers. And I want to say that the controls feel a little bit further back than even the mid controls on the Sportster. So it's a very comfortable position for me to be in. I don't like having my feet so far forward like you do on a cruiser. My buddy Rich rides a Shadow. I don't know what we're hearing right now. Must be called a prayer. Maybe? I suppose there's probably a mosque around here. I'll send the video to my sister. She lives in Cairo, and she'd be able to tell me if that's the traditional, I suppose, call to prayer. Anyway, bike. Modern, feels great. Everything is new and fun. It's got lots of power, a lot of torque, a lot more than the CB500. And more so than the Sportster, which I also tested. I did not like the Sportster as much. The engine is a bit, definitely an older sort of technology feel to it. This feels much revier. This bike likes to rev fast and high, and that's where a lot of the power comes from. But it's also definitely a sewing machine. The sound, which is probably the biggest drawback I'm feeling to it right now, is pretty horrible. These stock pipes are very quiet, and I suppose that's supposed to go together with the whole philosophy of the bike as an urban commuter bike. Not super fast, but just, you know, definitely fast enough for me. Something happened here. Some sort of investigation, collision investigation. But as I was saying, back to the bike, it is effortlessly quicker than any of the vintage bikes I've ever ridden. Really, truly, effortlessly fast. And no, it's not the fastest bike out there. I've ridden the Bonneville, which is definitely significantly quicker. But this is not a slow bike. Nothing slow about it as far as I can tell. But no, it's not the fastest bike out there. It's the fastest bike I think I'd be interested in right now. For a while I was playing around with ideas of picking up a ZRX 1200 because I like the way the bike looks and they're not super expensive. The bike's about 120 horsepower, and that might be too much for city commuting. I can see myself getting into trouble with that. This is fast enough for me to have no trouble getting out of my way. And I can feel already that it's got enough legs for a couple of medium distance tours. It does have a 6th gear, which is one of the reasons I was interested in it as well, for a little more comfort on the road. And it handles real well. Not quite as flickable as the CVs. Obviously a greater rake on the forks, lending to less of a turn radius. But it's not going to be bad. I did some figure 8s with it last night, and it's not significantly off from what I'm used to. So the downsides of it, like I already mentioned, because every bike's got its upsides and downsides. Nothing's perfect, and this bike is certainly not perfect. The sound is pretty lacking. It's definitely closer to a scooter than a motorcycle. That will have to be remedied with possibly next year a full stainless steel kit. Whoa. Yeah, just go ahead and pull out there, buddy. Stainless steel exhaust. I'd rather do a full exhaust setup than just a slip-on. and just get a better everything. That and you know, a freer flowing air cleaner and a power commander should get a little more horses out of the bike. That would be nice, but not really needed. More pressing, all these controls have to go. This is where Harley really cheapened it, and I'm not really a Harley guy. You know, I know a lot of the flack this bike has been taking is that it's not a true Harley, but most of that seems to be coming from the Harley guys. You know, the guys who ride the bigger bikes. And I can see how they're complaining about some of the stuff, because I've seen the bigger bikes and they are really nicely put together. This, as far as I'm concerned, isn't really bad. I just don't personally like it, and I'm going to go ahead and change everything. And my plan was always to change, you know, I always like to change whatever I get on the bikes. Neither one of the two bikes I've had have stayed as they are for long. You know, they both had different, you know, grips and bars put on. So first things first, I'm going to put some lower bars on here because I am not in love with these higher bars. I think I'm going to go ahead and just get some standard drag bars that I've got in the CB500 to put right across. All new hand controls because the plastic ones aren't really doing it for me. I wouldn't mind different grips because these are just the factory standard grips, and I wouldn't mind getting some a little beefier and more comfortable on there. Levers, you know, a new master cylinder wouldn't be bad, because this, as the reviews say, and it's true, the front brake is not fantastic. It's on par with my 500, which is to say substandard to modern sport bikes. It'll definitely stop the bike, and I'm not that worried about it. So I'm looking forward to tearing into it and fixing some stuff that I don't like. But, you know, if anyone is looking at this bike, the bottom line is that it's powerful enough for whatever you need if you're in an urban environment, realizing that it's not a sports bike. It handles well, it's priced low, it does have more power than the competition. There are design elements of it where they cut corners, switch gear, this mass of noodles right here, some of the plastic parts, but other than that, there's nothing wrong with the bike. I think you could buy this bike and be very happy with it. It's very comfortable. The seat is great. You know, the foot position is great. The suspension is really comfy, a hell of a lot better than the other Harleys. And I'm happy with it. So if anyone has any questions about the bike or anything they'd like me to see, anything I'd like to see about it, you know, go ahead and let me know in the comments. If you want me to do a full proper walk around, I'm happy to do that too. Just let me know what you guys want to see. And this bike will be going on the Gypsy Run next weekend. So now I'm off to meet my friend Suzanne to help her change the oil on her 696. And then more riding, so hopefully I'll see you guys out there, and until my next video, be well and ride safe.